It's almost tea time. After the end of the hard week, everything is fine, and we will spend the next hour to talk together about event safety and security and how to enhance our capacity to deal with the numerous of risks around our activities. And in order to do that, I have the pleasure to welcome three amazing speakers online, part of the SAFE project since its beginning in 2017, Gerard van Duykeren, founder and CEO of TSC Crowd Management, a security company operating in Holland and UK, Laura Brands, senior consultant at TSC as well, and Yvan Boudier, founder of The Link, a digital company working or European-wide. Hello. Hope you're fine.
All good. Glad to be here.
Presentation. So the SAFE project, just a short introduction about the project. The SAFE project is an Erasmus Plus funded initiative led by PRODISS, the French syndicate for music life since 2017. It engaged some of the most influential networks in the event sector in Europe, including ILMC, the AAA, European Arena Association, BDKV in Germany, Wallifornia Music Tech in Belgium, amongst other European partners. The SAFE project aims to disseminate knowledge and innovation at all levels, from local to international, focusing on the skills and competencies of event community across Europe. And therefore, two initiative learning programs have been developed and created by a team of high-level experts across Europe who are in the heart of the SAFE project. Laura Brands and Gerard van Duykeren here, Chris Kemp, Mind Over Matter, United Kingdom, and myself, Pascal Viot, from Switzerland, ISSU, the Swiss Institute for Urban and Event Safety. During a 3 years process of collaborative work, the SAFE project worked towards developing the highest European standard in education courses in the area of event safety, security, and crowd management. Just in order to explain you what it is about, the goal is to get together among the partners, together among the networks of the partners. So we organized several activities, starting with a workshop with PRODISS, focusing on terrorism risk in 2018. We had the opportunity as well to present the SAFE project at E3S, Event Safety and Security Summit in October 2019. And finally, through Eurosonic Noorderslag in Holland, in collaboration with the YES Group, in order to exchange, debate, learn from each other, reflect together, and create network in order to anchor knowledges around event safety and security across Europe. So that's the art of the SAFE project. And I will show you a short video clip in order to illustrate the philosophy of it. Getting together, creating and providing activities in order to exchange, to share knowledge, to build the new standards of the event safety and security across Europe. We did that with 3 training sessions where we can share the knowledge and the expertise with a lot of professionals coming from the partners. We did 4 training tests with the help of major venues and events, just like La Scène Musicale in Paris, Barclays Arena in Hamburg, Mama Festival in Paris, and Eurosonic Noorderslag in Groningen, Holland. So overall of the project activities, among the numerous of activities we did during the 3 years process, 4 transnational meetings among the partners, intellectual outputs, the design of new programs of education in event safety and health and safety, training session, just like I mentioned, and dissemination event. And today is the last dissemination event for the process, as the project and the funding ends in the end of February. Also, among the we will deal with that further on. They organize a hackathon on COVID impact on event safety for the future of the event sector. I will just show you now a testimonial coming from Victoria Matthews, who is a key people of the European Arena Association.
My name is Victoria Matthews, and I would like to say what a privilege it has been working with the SAFE partners on behalf of the European Arenas Association on this project, and how honoured the association has been to be able to play its part in the development of increased safety and security at live events across Europe. Over the past 3 years, EAA members have worked closely, offering their insights and extensive knowledge to the group, whether participating in testing sessions of the protocols or exchanging ideas at hackathon workshops. EAA member arenas have worked hard to make a valid contribution to the development of the training programme. Now the valuable work carried out by all the partners can be shared and used to make a difference to enhance event safety, always a key part of any live event, but even more so now in the light of the global pandemic. Thank you to the EU and Erasmus Plus for enabling the project, and to PRODISS and all the partners for inviting the EAA to join them. And we look forward to future projects and collaboration.
I'd really like to thank Victoria for this testimonial. Actually, the project started in 2017, just after a major shock, which has been the eruption of the terrorism threat for the event sector. And it ended now with another major crisis, which is a pandemic, COVID pandemic, which put our organization into a real test at the worldwide scale with lockdown of our venues and events. So the project was facing with a lot of challenges. If we can see the things in a wider scale, before 2015, the whole constellation of risk around event safety was just like you can see on the screen, with crowd management as one of the major issues amongst a lot of risk with negative potentiality or on events. And after 2015, of course, the terrorism took a big place on this representation and visualization. So we were really focused on protecting or venues and events, trying to work with counterterrorism specialists and experts in order to deal with this new risk. But nevertheless, the other risks were still there, and the question was, what would be the next? What would be the next challenge, the next focus? Maybe cybercrime. We were wondering about this topic before 2020, but as you all know, in the end of the day, COVID took the whole place, and as a consequences, we are stopped in our activities since more than 1 year now. So the project started with a crisis and ends with a crisis. So it's probably time to go toward a turning point in event safety and security in order to be more resilient, to be able to manage the whole constellation of risk. And in order to do that, considering that risk management is a dynamic process being constantly updated, there is a real value to share together the knowledge, the experience, and the experiment we can do and test in order to be more strong together, to enhance our knowledges and to build the know-how of the future standards of event safety in the future. Last testimonial for this first part of the presentation, Paul Williams, Security Director for O2 Arena London.
Hello, my name is Paul Williams. I am the Head of Security at the O2 in London for AG Europe. Over the past 3 years, I have been privileged to participate in a number of safe project exercises across Europe, including Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, and more recently, virtually from my home here in London. In its simplicity, safety and security has two principal objectives. Firstly, security liberates us from harm. Being kept safe and secure is a basic human need. Secondly, a safe and secure environment enables business to thrive and prosper. The SAFE project has brought together a diverse group of professionals across the continent to collaborate and innovate. The approach of bringing together academics, educators, and practitioners of varied grades will result in a programme that all transnational events can use to deliver a credible event safety programme to their teams. Of course, whilst the primary aim of the project is to create educational content, the unintended successes are the human connections made during the process. And long may they continue. A few weeks ago, some 50+ industry professionals met online to discuss safety concepts to support the restarting of events. It was just wonderful to listen to. There is so much enthusiasm to find the key to open live events again.
So as you can hear here with the very inspiring testimonial from Paul, the key objectives of the project are to provide a European security project that transcend borders and boundaries, transcend also the national context in order to see wider what are the issues at the European scale. So also to create a series of tools to promote even security in Europe, to be more credible maybe with all local authorities, enable an integrated approach to solutions, both with a decision-making and problem-solving point of view, and I will add, coming from the field and returning to the field with the help of academic and expertise knowledges. Supporting a methodology for thinking about the challenging of restarting a post-COVID environment. Of course, it's a part of our actuality and it's a part of our life since 1 year now. And we strongly believe that the skills and all our discussions, debates, and reflection can help in this particular situation to find a way out to the crisis. I would like to broadcast now the interview I made with Professor Chris Kemp from Mind Over Matter, talking about the project and especially about the philosophy and the learning methodology. Hi, Chris.
Hi there, Pascal. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for being here at this SAFE project session at ILMC. Firstly, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself and to explain us what have been your role in the SAFE project.
Okay, I'm Chris Kemp. I'm CEO of Mind Over Matter Consultancy and a Professor of Crowd Management at Edinburgh and AP University. The role has been really twofold, to assist in the development of the strategic courses for the SAFE project and to develop the learning strategies used. All of us, however, have had to turn our hands to any job that needs to be done to make sure that a quality project and service was realised, which is what it's all been about, making sure it's high quality, and working with the four of us in a team has been really, really excellent, because that has got us to where we are today.
Well, thank you. Can you tell us a little more about the philosophy of the project, and in particular, why is it so important up to you to work at this European level?
I think really it's been a long game for many, many years. As you know, Pascal, we've worked with the YES Group trying to create some sort of pan-European approach to health and safety. Firstly at European festivals, but also across arenas and all sorts of different areas. I mean, there's a range of excellent practices in venues through the AA and the NAA. There is Europe, who have developed really good practices, especially during COVID, where they've been looking at how to get the show on the road again when we're through the worst of this area. And I think that background has spurred us on to try and develop a similar approach where good practice is shared, and innovation and ex-innovation are embraced, really. However, this has a starting point, and that starting point is training, education, and innovation at all levels, because it's the place where the foundations of learning happen. And this really is the chance for us to do that, and strategically, this underpins the whole progress. And I also think about the creation of the repository, because courses are all well and good, but actually with a repository of information, of resources, is absolutely vital for what we're trying to do, because we want to make this a place for people to meet, share ideas, find activities that they can engage in, have solutions to different elements that are taking place, and really kind of develop a culture of health and safety across Europe. And as well, we've got problem solving, because as we know, as Shakespeare said, no man's an island. And I think the pandemic has proved that the collective approach is what we need to do. Because as we've seen, if people go off on their own and create things, they soon have to come back to the fold, because the government, guidance, legal aspects are all very, very different in what we're trying to do. So creating and delivering integrated, interoperable solutions across Europe is very important. Yeah, of course, there's going to be disagreements, but those steps traveled create a community of practice in health and safety. And that's really what we're all about. This isn't about any one single person. This is really about a collective. And I think that's really important.
Thank you very much. Maybe another questions to you as a former professor at the university. All the SAFE education programs have been developed, and all will these been taught?
Right, this is an interesting one, because although the learning philosophies of both the strategic and the operational programs are slightly different, the underpinning element of these programs and the philosophy behind them, that overarching philosophy, is about an integration where those participating are able to learn their trade in the workplace. Because one of the things we've found for over 25 years is that you can tell people anything about how to do something, but unless you show them how to do something, it isn't going to work. And what we've got to remember is that many of those people who work in the events and crowd management industries, they are kinesthetic learners. They see and they do and they follow, rather than academic learners who learn a project and then come back with the actual models from it or for it and try and put those into practice. What we're doing here is we're actually pushing those elements into the project itself, the learnings from it. And to enable this, it's really that kind of learning in the round methodology which is behind it, because in all of our programs, we have people who facilitate. We have some experts who come to them, and we also have people who are participating, but they can change places at any time. And even people who are on their first courses will have some glint of knowledge and tell us something which changes the way we look at things. And that's really important, because the learner engagement is something that we need to make sure, because it allows those participating to feel comfortable in an area where they can make mistakes, where they can have ideas, where they can lead parts of the program. Or also, we should also learn to develop how experts lead in their areas and the key personnel who are there when it comes to a challenge. And that creates good practice. Because one of the things we use all the time in the events industry is good practice. But how many of us share it and give it to others and develop it? Often people keep that to themselves. But through these programs and allowing people to speak about what they do at their festivals, at their events, we're able to support that and deliver it. And I think that's a very, very important part. Of course, there's online and there's face-to-face, but hopefully soon we'll be able to have face-to-face activity again. So that's an important step in these areas.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chris. Do you want to add anything else in conclusion?
I think the only thing in conclusion is that what I've got out of this is a real bond and affinity with the partners. So with yourselves, with TSC, we've worked extremely hard to make this happen. And I think that triangle of developers and deliverers have ensured that we keep the quality. There are no shortcuts in this program. It's been blood, sweat and tears to make it happen. And we finally got there, which has been brilliant.
And of course, the goal of the dissemination phase that starts now for the SAFE project, the goal is to get as much people as possible involved in the process and to disseminate these programs and the knowledge around even safety across Europe.
Absolutely. And I think the more people who come into this and the more the good practice is shared, the safer Europe we're going to have. And I think that's one thing that we mustn't lose sight of, is that that safety culture will be something we can build on for the rest of our lives.
So for those watching this on video, or for the others which are attending the session, please don't hesitate to contact us, to contact the SAFE project through the website thesafeproject.eu. And see you soon. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
So let's back live. I would like to stress on how valuable and what a change it was to work together with Chris, who is very experienced in the field of education and development of courses. Talking about the education program, Gerard, hello. Can you explain us what it is about, what the specific dimension of this SAFE project for education programs?
Yeah, let me just try to take you through. Good afternoon, everybody. Very nice to be here on the Friday afternoon. Let me try to take you through within some 10 minutes in the, well, let's say the, as Chris said, the blood, sweat and tears process with some bumps now and then. So yeah, please show the next page. I'm waiting for someone. Yep, thank you very much. As a chief executive officer of the ICMS, the parent company of TSC Crowd Management in the Netherlands and Showsec in the United Kingdom, I have been working myself in the safety industry, event safety industry, for over 40 years. The two companies combined form the largest event crowd management company in Europe, providing services at thousands and thousands of events and welcoming around 22 million visitors each year. Both companies are very much and heavily involved in training. We both have academies where we educate our own staff. So on the slide you can see some other functions I also have. I have some board functions, and I'm very proud to say I am the 20-year-old member of the YES group, as has already been pointed out. The SAFE project, it has given me the personal opportunity to make a contribution to the further development of event crowd safety on an international level. And I do want to thank. This could only be done with the great help of all the partners involved. So let me please thank every partner for all the contributions and the evaluation of the programs. It could not have been done without them. People from all over Europe. I'm sorry I'm not able to thank everybody for that. But what it does show, the strength of the programs and the fact that the project is widely supported by professionals from over the whole industry and through Europe. So again, thank you very much. The program emphasizes on the creation and the development of the training modules on an operational level and on a strategic level as well. It delivers a program for members of staff and managers who ensure the public safety at events, crowded places, festivals, venues, sporting events, and so on. It's been an absolute privilege to do this with you, Pascal, and with Chris, and of course with Laura from our own company. Spreading the knowledge will help, I'm convinced, the industry, which is in an evolving status at the moment. It will give a crucial boost in creating a more mature, but also a better position for the people, the workers on the shop floor. And those people on the shop floor, is my honest opinion, they have a decisive role. They are the ones who we should provide with the necessary tools and the competences which enables them to execute and play that essential role in creating safer and more enjoyable events. And I now come to the mission, to the SAFE project. Again, as you all can read, please show the next slide. The operational program is meant for companies specializing in event crowd management, and again, as mentioned before, venues, festivals, local authority, governmental bodies, and also sporting associations. It will give a certification program for junior staff, just so people on the shop floor, starters, who look after public safety at events. The other one, next slide please, is the strategic program, which is a more managerial level program. It's based for supervisors, managers in the entertainment industry, and again, event crowd safety companies, so venues, festivals, etc., etc. Yep, next please. It does give some broader, holistic opportunities, I guess. The international and the national networks, which are already being established through the close participation of all those people involved. But it will also be able to come up with new qualifications within companies, within venues, and in festivals as well. It will bring back in a fastly developing, in an emerging industry, really some new professional opportunities, and overall, again, an extra stimulus to provide safety all over. The operational program consists of 5 modules. Each module is run in sequence and lasts up about 1 day. It leads to a European operational certificate. It can either take 1 week, or you can spread it all through a way longer period of time. Again, you can take the modules step by step, and it will guide you through and building knowledge and skills from the basic steps into a more competency-based topics. Next, please. The strategic program has also 5 modules. Those modules can be taken in a random order. So they also usually take 1 day. But I have to say this, because of the nature of the learning in the round philosophy, which also includes coaching and feedback sessions, it's not really to say they will last for 1 day. So they can take up to 3 days as well, depending on the participants, the specialists. So it's a more flexible time frame. And at the end, this will lead to strategic event safety management certificates, which can be awarded by the facilitator. Next, please. Here you can see a picture of which you can find back on the website, which Laura will talk about some in a later stage. You can see the 5 modules, the operational ones, event security and awareness. The awareness part takes really a big lump out of the whole module, because it will bring you any further in looking on a different way, and Pascal mentioned earlier on the terrorism threats that will be addressed in that first module. Further on, the basics of event crowd management, which talks about crowd management, crowd control, which talks about the event phases, etc., etc. Module 3, guest services, event health and safety in 4, and of course, incident and emergency management, which takes you on to any other and more complex situations. The strategic ones, on the other side, they are aligned more or less. As you can see, legal aspects, leadership, risk assessment module, health and safety, and again, also on a managerial level, the risk and crisis management. Next, please. At the first glance, when you look at the previous picture, you could think both programs are really complex, difficult to match. But when you look more closely, they are really connected. Although there are separate levels of education, there are separate learning methods being used, but they are linked. And they both use as well scientific and practical knowledge and learning methods. The next picture, I guess. Yep, here you can see that they are linked through what we called recurrent themes. Those are like, which shows in the next slide, the connecting programs are connected through recurrent themes. Next slide, please. Those themes, they represent essential competences. They are overarching characteristics that will recur. They come back time and time over in all the 5 modules. We have indicated them with symbols, doing this by keeping for the facilitator and the participants as well those key overarching competences front of mind. Here you can see some of them. You can see, again, on the left-hand side, the symbols which represent problem solving, communication, working in a team, a professional attitude, proactive awareness, and some practical discipline. At the other side, you can see the strategic ones, which are, of course, from a different level, but they do represent and they do recur time and time over. Next, please. A little bit more about the learning methodology, the philosophy behind the operational program. It is purely a work-based, it integrates a theoretical part and a practical application as well. There's much emphasis on the practical competences and the skills. It's well proven. We have used this over time and time with thousands and thousands of students in our own companies. It's based on blended learning. It carefully guides the participants through the whole learning process, step by step. Again, junior staff obtaining insights, but also competencies is the backbone of those whole modules. Next, please. Here you can see in a picture, again, this is also being displayed on the website, the step-by-step methodology. At the top, you can see we start with an e-learning theoretical part, which is learning through self-study. After that, you will come together in a classroom. In a classroom, there will be practical assignments, so learning by doing. On the workplace, you will be mentored by a coach. Again, coaching and really practical application by doing. There will be assignments in the workplace, which again is based on doing exercises. Learning through sharing will be done through the workplace group sessions. And in the end of the day, there will be some practical exams to end the whole program. Next, please. Thank you. One of the main key issues is what we call the transfer from knowledge and understanding into practical skills. It's like a bridge of the whole 5 modules. The emphasis is on what we call the operational perspective, which simply means, do you know what to do, how to act in any given situation? This is the backbone. This is the outcome where we continuously are focusing on. So it will lead to a set of skills and understanding what, when, why, and how to perform your task. On the other side, we have the different learning methodology of learning in the round. And I'm glad to show you some key points of the learning in the round. Chris really briefly taught something about it. Here you got a bit more in writing. It's built around a synergy between the 3 participants, between the 3 key actors, which one is the participant, the other is the specialist, and there is the facilitator. It's also a work-based learning process, and those 3 positions are not built in concrete. They are interchangeable. It's built around a co-creation between academics and professionals to produce a complete program centered around the participant, the student. It facilitates the transferability of knowledge and practice as well into multiple contexts and various domains as well. So it's quite complex, but it all makes sense when you stick to those in the round key learning points. It's also a social process which involves all 3 actors and involve all the perspective of those actors. This is important because it cannot be achieved by just one of them. You need the three of them to be part of this complete social process. Next, you will see a picture, maybe not that real clear, but you can see the three-dimensional, the learning in the round principles and the philosophy. Again, you can see this also on the website. Next, please. Last but not least, some key points. The participants will experience a work-base that their normal situations and their normal solutions are just one way of dealing with issues. They will, through the whole modules, they will realize that they are, as to be honest, as we all are, that they are functioning within their own biased, preconceived behavior. At the end of the program, the learner, the work-based learner, is able to not longer reflect purely upon workplace issues, challenges from just one way of looking at it, but because of the whole program, it comes together and the learner, the participant, will be able to look at this from the round. So again, 10, 12 minutes, trying to be a little bit more specific on how we approach the learning programs. I guess next slide. This is so far so good. Here you can see the website again. Pascal, back to you. Thank you so far, and speak to you later.
Thank you very much, Gerard. Laura, we are looking forward to hearing you about the materials that we will provide to the students and the approved providers. So the whole process of learning and dissemination of the programs. It's up to you.
Yes, Pascal, thank you. I will start with sharing my screen and the presentation.
Do you have trouble, Laura?
I think I might. Can you see my screen at the moment? Because I'm now currently showing the presentation.
No.
Okay, then we have to try something different, I think.
Let's do something. I will share my screen with your presentation.
I think I found it. I will try one more time.
Okay.
Is this the correct way?
Yeah, perfect.
It's great, thanks. Well, good afternoon to you all. I'm Laura, and today I will talk about our website and I think maybe even more important, the enrollment process. First of all, I would like to invite you to have a look at our website and browse through it in your own time and pace after this talk. For now, I will give a quick overview in this presentation and using some screenshots of the website. On the left side of the page, you will find the menu. You can all read, so I won't read it all, the subjects aloud. Pascal and Chris just gave an introduction about the project. This is what you will find under About Us. If you want to know more about the teaching methods, well, they can be found under this button.
Laura, just
yes.
Can you share your screen with full screen, please?
I have it on full screen. think it won't work because I had it on full screen. Is it now on full screen?
No. But go ahead, no problem.
Okay, well, Gerard just gave a presentation about the programs. When you're interested in both the programs or in either one of them, you can find them under the button labeled programs. It's no surprise there. The flyers can be found there and downloaded. Well, they will look like this on the outside and like this on the inside. The flyer shows an overview with all the highlights of the modules, and they are described like, for instance, the learning outcomes, the skills, and the level of study. For now, I want to focus your attention on the enrollment process. It has been made very easy to use. First, the process of how you become a student is explained. After that, we discuss how you can become an approved provider. If you want to register as a student, click the button and carefully read through all the information. You have to fill in some personal details. I won't go into that now because, well, they speak for themselves. And after that, you can choose which models you want to follow. And there is something important. Remember that there are two programs, the operational and the strategic. Regarding the operational program, these modules need to be followed in chronological order or from 1 until 5. It is possible to sign up for one of them at a time or for the complete operational program together. Regarding the strategic program, the modules can be taken in any order. Gerard just explained that. Once you've been accepted, you receive an email telling you the good news. And after that, you'll have access to the course resources. They look like this on the website. And I will give you a quick sneak preview of some of our learner workbooks. If you want to become an approved provider, you have to have completed the program and then you can become an approved provider if you satisfy, of course, all the criteria shown. If you do that, sign up on the Become an Approved Provider page. The instructions identify what criteria you must achieve to become an approved provider. I will give the highlights in this presentation. Well, I already said it. You have to have taken part in the program and completed it successfully, which means followed all the modules and set for, in the operational case, for the practical exams and made the exercises for the strategic course. Furthermore, you should work in the event, festival, or venue industry for over 5 years and at the same amount of time teach in the event education or something similar. After that, if you're satisfied these criteria, we are going to ask you to deliver part of the program online in front of a panel of peers. In the beginning, that will be us, the creators. Later on, that might be providers who are already approved. Furthermore, we expect 2 references from those in the industry, and you should have a cohort of participants ready from a festival or venue or event that you have been asked to provide the education for. Furthermore, a letter of approval from the sponsor is expected. And finally, we need some kind of proof that you have both the financial and the human resources to deliver the program in a quality manner. If you've satisfied all of these criteria, you may then become an approved provider. Please note, you can only teach programs that you have completed the full 5 modules in. Once you've become an approved provider, you will get access to the resources. At the resources page for the approved providers, you will find among the other documents the handbook, some example scenarios and case studies, and well, they look like this. We've tried to make this process as simple, accessible, and well-defined as possible. If you have any questions about programs, about how you can become an approved provider, or anything else, please contact us through the contact form on the website. And for now, I would like to thank you and go back to Pascal.
Thank you very much, Laura. We had some trouble to show your slide, but anyway, everything you've shown or was supposed to show is accessible through the website. So for those attending or watching this webinar, please go to the website thesafeproject.eu. Don't forget the Safe Project, and you will find everything, every information useful to understand the goals, the philosophy, and the way we want to push the project forward. Then, before switching to Yvon, I would ask to broadcast the interview with Coralie Beryl, Managing Director of Forest National Arena in Brussels. Hi, Coralie. How are you?
Hi, Pascal. I'm fine. Well, you know, fine. The easy answer.
Thank you for being with us during this session of the SAFE project at ILMC. I have a few questions to ask you in order to discuss with you your participation to the SAFE project. Firstly, Coralie, as Managing Director of the Forest National Arena in Brussels, you have been in the front line of the recent changes in event safety and security from 2015. So can you explain what have been your experience during the last years participating to European network to share experiences, to improve knowledge through training and courses?
Well, I think it was an essential change of direction that our industry had to take, because since 2015, managing a venue in the heart of Brussels obviously put us at risk as much as probably in other cities, clearly. But we felt very lonely at first with our dusty health and safety and security procedures, which had lasted for several years. But it was clear at that point that the society and our industry was evolving very quickly, and that we needed to react to that, to have a more, to have best practices that are more dynamic and adaptable to whatever the world throws at us, in order to keep these mass events safe. So obviously we went through a training process. I crossed the path of Chris Kemp, who introduced me to his international network, which was also really useful to find a platform where professionals with similar needs and could actually exchange their experiences, and from that I became part of the YES group up to today. And all this work has been extremely useful in making sure that we can actually offer best practices across border in the whole of Europe. As obviously for the touring industry, it's also essential that an artist can feel safe, whether he's in Belgium or in Slovakia or in Finland. It has been really important to be able to exchange experiences, and we need to continue to do that, because obviously we see today with the pandemic, yet again, it's another pressure thrown upon us, and we need to adapt again. So it's not just enough to have procedures somewhere in a file on a piece of paper. We need more practice. We need more tools. We need more practical skills.
And more exchange of experiences between experts and professionals in the field.
Yes, and you realize that you're not alone, and that's already together we can always be stronger and find solutions to these pressures quickly enough.
So knowledge coming from the field is in the heart of the SAFE project, and you have been involved in the SAFE project as an expert to contribute to the development of the SAFE education programs. What's your feedback on the way the programs were designed?
Well, I think it was, for the last 3 years, it worked both ways for me, as much as I could actually give input into the situation and the science and everything around it, but also could take a lot away from it. It works a little bit for me. It works a bit like a think tank, where we lay bare all the processes and build it up again from scratch. And it gave me the opportunity to get to know other professionals across our industry, but across Europe. We went to see several other venues, which is always a good place to learn new things and to see how other colleagues do it, and we learn from each other, and that was really great during these 3 years.
And in the flow of the SAFE project, we have been facing together with the major challenges generated by the pandemic on the event sector. You are very active in the national level in Belgium to find a way out to the crisis. How did the SAFE hackathon help you to get a better vision of the situation across Europe?
Well, again, I think we've been doing a lot of work, like you said, nationally. We, for instance, rolled out a survey to give us a feedback from our customers on whether they would feel safe to come back to our events. And we've been doing that almost fortnightly since the beginning of the crisis. But it's become clear that the social acceptance is not just our own problem. It's a more general problem, and it's really important to build some kind of barometer, mood barometer of the audience, whether they they understand why we're doing certain measures, why certain rules are put into place. And again, for the touring industry, the international market that we are in, it is essential that we get a good feeling in the other countries as well. So I think with the opportunity that the hackathon has done is actually to take that survey and to broaden it to other organizations, other festivals that can ask similar type of questions to their audience, and then have like I say, a mood barometer and feeling, in terms of, is it a general feeling, or are there any countries where some measures have been put in place where the mood is actually better or worse? And depending on that, we can work out a lot more knowledge than just, in our silo, in our national silo.
So to sum up, we are all in the same boat, and we need to take the audiences into account in the process to get out of the crisis. Thank you very much, Coralie, for this testimonial.
and see you soon.
Hope so. In London or Geneva.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Ivan. Coralie was just speaking about in his last part, in the last part of her interview. She was talking about the hackathon. Can you tell us about this project, which was finally a big part of the SAFE project? Because in the flow of the project management, we were just facing with a major crisis, and I think the hackathon expectations were high, and we did a very interesting job in it.
Yes, thanks for that, and thanks for all the inputs and the knowledge you already shared. Regarding the hackathon, I will try to be brief because even if if any of you want to dive and to go in depth in the output of those hackathons, please contact us. And also we have some content available on the YouTube channel of the SAFE project for you to dive in. Let me share my screen right now to show you. If you see my screen now, do you see my screen? It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, so I will go really quick with the principle and the methodology. Actually, we decided to go with a hackathon method in the SAFE project since the beginning. We had 2 hackathons, one in Liège doing the Wallifornia Music Tech conferences and in the middle of the Les Ardentes Festival, and another one lately, and I will focus on that one. And it was more a design thinking approach and an ideation approach for those who understand what it means. So it was really about delivering concepts and actionable ideas based on collective intelligence and, let's say, a kind of an approach of thinking out of the box and bringing people together from multidisciplinary expertise. And I will show you. Oh, this is the 2 of us, Pascal doing Les Ardentes and Wallifornia. The principle of those hackathons were basically, the first one was to really try to think out of the box and look at the different innovative solutions that could be developed or could be used as a toolkit to be used by the trainees. So really to be a good fit with the certification and training program. So to open up then to make a proper use of those tools and innovative methods in the standardization of practices. So it was the theme of the first hackathon. It was really about the consumer journey. I will not take too much time about that, but it was super interesting because you see Paul Williams, who shared a great words previously in this session. So it was a physical, in real life, let's say design thinking, 3 days of workshop, and we came with those kind of drawings. But it's only a few words, but it's a lot of insight and a lot of knowledge really put on the table. And the final output of this first hackathon was really much a kind of a it helped us to put several categories of the different solution and innovation available or to be developed for safety purposes. Then COVID came out, and we decided, like pretty spontaneously, all of us, the SAFE partner and the consortium, to come up with another hackathon really focused on the COVID management and the COVID challenges. And to do that, we started to look at what are the key challenges to be tackled, and there are 4 of them, which was tracing, so how to collect and streamline COVID-related data, and then customer journey and flow distancing. Customer journey, in a nutshell, it was all about all the touch points and how to manage COVID through those, from like the decision process to going out of a venue. Flow and distancing was really about how to manage crowd on site and really the last kilometer. And social acceptance, which is a transversal topic, was really key. And why approaching that topic in a hackathon? And we discovered, which it was one of the most important topic, to be honest, because it was really part of this thinking of how to engage with the attendees and how to develop a new behaviors beyond the use of technology. I will give you, so this is more about the methodology, but I will give you 2 examples. And really, I would encourage you to look at the YouTube page when you have a full presentation for each of the 4 groups. So to describe that, the method, we had for each group, we had from 5 to 10 participants, and we had in total like 40 professionals participating to the hackathon from 20 countries across the globe, let's say, not only Europe. And this is the output in one slide, because they produced, I guess, more than 20 slides and a lot of intelligence and insight. But this is a sum up of what they came out with. So this group, they had as a mentor Daniel Fletcher from Primavera Sound. As you may know, Primavera was one of the first festival to organize a test concert in the past month. And they came out with this, which is what are the key steps of a customer journey and COVID-related topics to be tackled, and what are the kind of potential method, solution, application, and activation to be done related to COVID. This is super interesting as a framework, because then from that perspective, it was super helpful for the other groups to use that framework, also to look at what each of their focus. So I will not dive into that, but it gives you an idea of what a collective intelligence approach can produce in less than a week. And this other one is a super practical example. So this is a group 3. Group 3 was about, as I mentioned, flow and distancing management. In that group, we had Morten, who is really a specialist in safety, working in a festival. We had also companies like Riolin from France, with a startup who develops tools and data-driven tools to manage festivals. And this whole group all together, they produce different stuff. One, which is not here, but one was a proposal for a standardization of distancing measures. So really how to standardize that at a European level. Another output and recommendations they brought to the table, to the global group, was to develop a resource center and a shared database of tools that could be applied to COVID management. So imagine that as a European level or beyond, because UK is basically also welcome in the conversation, was to develop some kind of shared knowledge and shared database of tools, and really to categorize those tools by their use, by their goals, and also by the kind of scope of use. And again, this is all about collective intelligence and resilience, and how to not only each of the organizer, each of the venue, each of the person is responsible in the chain to try by themselves to look at the solution available, but really to approach that as a collective and as a group. And in a nutshell, the conclusion of all of that, so we have the 4 groups. Each group deliver like a full length of insights and collective intelligence, which becomes now, and we're going to put that all together pretty soon, some intellectual production. So it will be available for the group and for the safe participants. It will become some material and resources really, really valuable for us moving forward to tap in, but also some actionable next step. And one of those, and I think you can react to that, I guess, Pascal, because you were involved in that very group. For instance, the 4th group about social acceptance, one of the actionable next steps they proposed to the global group was to launch and I think this is an open proposal for the ILMC participants watching this session today. It was to produce and deliver at European level a global survey about safety measures acceptance by the attendees, and also to not only to put that as a one-off, but also to put that regularly, to measure the acceptance and the comments and the reaction of the audience to the measures, because this is so key also to change the perspective, how to engage with the audience and to the public. So from standards to technical and technology solutions to potentially also knowledge base with this kind of survey, this is the main output of the hackathon. And our last word about the hackathon, because it's a good story about ILMC also being part of the consortium. Yesterday, I was participating to the speed meeting on the ILMC platform, and I came to speak with one of the participants of the hackathon randomly, so it was really great. He's the CEO of Come Together, which is a ticketing and data startup, and he just announced to me that they won an incredible competition organized by Qatar Sport Accelerator, and they will operate some COVID-related ticketing and tracing solutions for the football 2022 World Cup.
Ivan.
Yeah. We're good.
I'm so sorry. I'm just reading the chat, and we are well over time. So
yeah, I'm done.
We were just ordered to.
I could not do less.
No, of course not. No. It has nothing to do with yours. So really well done. Good job, and absolutely brilliant. Talking about innovation, and Pascal, probably you want to wrap up?
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Yvon. As you mentioned, I think the result of the hackathon as a part of the project is firstly to provide a think tank, meaning a collective resources in order to think about the issues we are facing with. And the second value is to connect people. We are creating a strong network, able to spread the reflection into the different dimensions, to organize a meeting between technology, safety expert in the field of event, which is very constructive and very interesting to go to push it forward. So maybe my last question to end this webinar will be for you, Yvon, and for you, Gerard. How do you see the future of the SAFE project? We are now presenting some results coming from a 3 years process of working. What could be the next steps, the way to go forward? Yvon, maybe first?
Yeah, in one sentence. I think with the hackathon, we were pretty, not surprised, but it was overwhelming, the kind of the engagement and the commitment from the community, the professional community, to work together on collective solution, but also collective intelligence, meaning defining standards and trying to find solutions together. For now, so we delivered concepts, and which could be called sometimes goodwill, but it's more than goodwill. It's actionable concepts. Now, I think the next step should be about experimentation, so pilots. For that, we have all the resources, meaning people, venues, expertise. Now we will need, I guess, funding and resources to make that work. But experimentation for me is one of the next steps moving forward. That will feed also education, because it will be about learning on the field, learning while doing. I think this is really important.
Okay. Gerard, maybe as a conclusion, There is some question in the chat. We don't have time to answer everything, but maybe the key conclusion will be please contact us. Please check on the website. There is a contact section, and we will manage to answer the questions and to imagine the future of the project. What do you think?
No, yeah, absolutely. Again, we really need to go. There were some questions asked on the YouTube video. So Chris and Jason, the film industry does count, absolutely 100%. And Chris, as creators, we will help you in set up and guide you through the process of training the workplace coaches. So again, I think everybody who's interested, you need to go through the website. We need some people with some degree of guts, some people, organization with vision, with progressive foresight to get this whole project starting. And I'm absolutely convinced it will be step by step. It's going to take some years, but we will be able to give an extra stimulus to the whole industry. So
thank you. Thank you to all the speakers, the live speakers, the on-record speakers, and to all the people attending. And check the website, thesafeproject.eu, and see you soon. Bye.
What?